Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another show of This and That with your host, Mr. 357. And my guest today, introduce yourself, sir.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Wolf Danger. I'm a wrestler at GW. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, brother. Thanks for asking. How are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Chilling and relaxing,
Right, right. Yeah, brother. So it's good to have you on the show. You've been a very busy man when it comes to this efed
Thank you.
business.
Thank you for having me
You
on,
know, yeah,
anyways.
yeah, absolutely, man. Uh, I'm gonna get to that, man. You one of my favorite guys out there from the GW brand because I'm strictly loyal to the family, GW family, which is Global Extreme Studios. It's a movement. Shout out to A. Jizzle. But besides Wolf Danger being in GW, because the Wolf Danger that I know is the Wolf Danger from GW,
Mhm.
and this is a badass motherfucker, man. So, what you wanna give me a little something about the Wolf Danger and other efeds? If you are a part of any other efeds, you can give them a shout out also and tell us which one you like the most.
I've been I've been in a couple e-feds. I've come and gone through a couple. I'm just trying to make a name for myself because this is my passion. I like to do this for the fans and just
Of
compete
course,
around the world. You know what I'm saying?
of course. This is something. So I'm gonna ask you like same thing I asked all my other guests. You wanted to be a wrestler since you were a kid, when you were younger and stuff. You looked up to these wrestling guys and figured, I want to do this one day, and unfortunately some people can't do it and we live it through the video game.
Yeah,
So
that's.
virtual,
I get what you're saying. That's like most people might have a dream to want to be a wrestler, but they don't. They possibly take the different path of a career, and
correct,
if they can't be a pro wrestler in real life, they'll take their imagination and creativity onto a video game and just pursue it there.
correct. That's exactly what I meant. So yeah, no. So Wolf Danger, that's where Wolf Danger's dream comes from. He wanted to be a worldwide hit, and you're basically doing it when it comes to these efeds because according to the paperwork and all the information I see online, there's over like 3,000 or more efeds
Yes, sir.
worldwide, and yeah, if you're a hit on any of them, with the hits, thousands of views, I mean, you're pretty much a big deal. So tell me, how does that feel for Wolf Danger, being in other e-feds besides GW, and of course GW got the 1,000 views. They broke the 1,000 views section. So
It feels
how do you
good.
feel about that?
It feels good because I get to explore out, seeing what these other wrestlers have in store, like just getting to know everybody. That's the that what makes eFeds it special. You get to know these
Right,
people, and once you get to know them, you start building relationships with the company. Because I'm a multi-time champion from when I started to where I am now. Like I said,
nice.
I've just come and gone through a couple, and you know,
Right. So when you say champion, and you mean you've been doing this for a while. So you've been doing it since which 2K you've been doing this from? This EFED world thing, the Wolf Danger,
I originally started back in September 16th of 2021, and I
2021.
started out in an E-Fed, and I was like, okay, because there's a backstory that how I actually started getting into E-Feds,
Let's hear it.
and so basically, I was in a wrestling group chat, and I noticed this one person had a little YouTube show where their wrestlers fight against each other, and I was like, okay, cool, maybe I should ask if I can join. Well, I got rejected from joining, and I was like, okay, I see how this is going to be. So I took it upon myself to like
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Go ahead.
Yeah, just took it upon myself to get to know, like, throw out that like I'm interested in becoming a wrestler in efeds. Just like it's definitely a blessing to where I am now and how I
I
yeah
mean, I was just gonna say that too because you if you've been exploring the EFED world and you said that you're trying to be a big star in it, which I believe you can be and you will be. Um, Considering that you basically, which is what I'm saying is like damn, can't put my word to it. I can't put the finger to it. It's like you're gonna be a global hit, right? So when you started and you joined the Z-Fed, they rejected you. So how does that make you feel in the locker rooms when you're in E-Feds? And which E-Fed besides GW gave you the most problem, probably that that you figured, you know what, I like it better in this locker room than I do in this locker room. You get what I'm saying? Like with the stars, because in
yeah
every E-Fed you probably run into a couple guys that you've seen in other ones, but 9 out of 10 times you're in there by yourself.
you
You get what I'm
know
saying? And you got to bang it out with these guys in the locker room talking their shit, and you know how they do.
yeah
How
because
does that feel?
you know I've always been a locker room leader. I like to motivate people because you know I've been a face for almost half my career and I'll usually become a heel sometime. But I just like being
Copy.
myself and for those people in the locker rooms who like cause trouble and stuff, I ain't worried about them. Those people who cause trouble in the locker rooms, I ain't about
That's,
that.
those are yeah, those are the easy guys.
Yeah,
Like, oh, you're just a talker.
it
I know
just
who you
shows
are.
their weakness. That
Gotcha.
you know what I'm saying?
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I love that. Because as you know, now we're talking GW. So
Because
in the GW locker room, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
In the GW locker room, you know how it is, man. You're in it, you're in it all the time. You see how we talk to each
oh
other there.
yeah,
I got a character there. You know how it is. You know my character, how we go. So
yeah. I gotta give it to
but
GW because you know half the time everybody's in character, even though we like to talk smack heavily and all that stuff. Like you'll have these guys saying these bad words that you probably never heard and all that, like
yeah,
this, that. It'll
it's
be all in
slang, different
character, you know.
accents. Yeah, absolutely. It's different. It's like different accents because everybody's from a different part of the place.
Yeah.
Like every from all over the place. You know what I mean? So like, you got people from Australia in there. You got people from New England
Hmm.
in the United Kingdom. You got people from Scotland. Shout out to the SGK, by the way, for Scotland. Storm, UK. Uh, we got people from like you yourself. You're from Virginia, Detroit,
Virginia.
Denver. You're from Virginia.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Two
so
up, two
you see
down.
what I'm saying? We don't have people from Virginia because I'm from New York. We have a couple people from California in there,
Well, I knew one
Texas.
of the guys in the group chat who was from Virginia,
Oh, okay, okay,
but he ain't
right. So
around anymore. If you know who
he's
I'm
not
talking
around the
about.
GW. But yeah, I get you. I get you. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. And like I said earlier, you're one of like my favorite guys out there, right? You know what I mean? And it looked like you had a spectacular opening career in GW, and then all of a sudden you had a little, I don't know, something going on with your gimmick and your style of wrestling.
Yeah.
So it's like it was not the right Wolf Danger at the time. Then you came back as the original Danger Zone Wolf Danger that we know, and he had this big rivalry with one of the faction leaders. And how did that feel? Like kind of going from your faction that you were repping, which is obviously DWO, correct?
Hmm.
All right, so you went from that, and you had a huge, huge storyline in your GW career, and all of a sudden we saw Wolf Danger complete the storyline and just magically disappear. What happened to Wolf Danger during that time of the disappearance?
Well, the whole idea of it was basically since Wolf Danger went through that lunatic asylum and all that stuff. You know, the guy who I worked with, we actually had a pretty good relationship talking about the whole storylines and stuff, which I
Okay.
appreciate. I'll definitely take appreciation of that because that pushed me to become more creativity to like when it comes to storylines and stuff.
Right. Promos and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so basically when Wolf got injured, I took the idea of since Wolf escaped it by himself, that if he can escape it by himself, then with nobody's help, that he can do anything he wants by himself, and he'll do it if he wants.
I hear that. I hear that, brother. And that's you heard it here first, listeners. Whoever's listening, folks, you heard it here
And I
first.
basically think, me personally, I think it would have been a cool idea because how I transitioned from Wolf from being injured to what character he is now. They,
And yeah, and that's funny that you say that because sorry to cut you off, brother. But it's funny you say that because when you came back from the injury, you came back in a whole different like you're like a big you're bigger now. You I guess the rehab was a lot of workout and so it's like this is not the same Wolf Danger we saw leave. This guy is more stronger, possibly still have the same speed if not faster. Like what do you think about that? Like what made that Wolf Danger in the injury process to come back as this Wolf Danger? Because supposedly I heard that the injury was so bad you might not even wrestle again. And all of a sudden we have a bigger, stronger, faster Wolf Danger. What's that?
so I had to come up with a special twist to the return, and I feel like this would have shocked the GW universe. And I just wanted to test something out new, see how it would
No, it
go.
certainly did. Yep, yep. It certainly did turn out spectacular, man. It's like when I saw your return, I was like,
And
holy
if this
shit.
doesn't get GW Return of the Year, then I don't know what.
Yeah, that's 100% return of the year, 100%. Because there was other wrestlers out there that was injured also on the
And
roster.
also, while I was injured, I took the create time to be creative and post those hinting videos on the GW page on
That's
Facebook. I don't know
that's
if
the
people have
creativity
been
I'm
paying
talking about.
attention to it or not.
We were, oh, we were. I was for sure. So when I saw the videos, I was like, oh, something's different. And I kind of hinted that it was you. I kind of figured, but the only reason they gave it up is like certain images in the videos
Hmm.
that I was like, okay, I know where this is from. So I
Yeah.
didn't blow it up. I let the story continue because I'm a fan. Like obviously, I told you that earlier. I'm a fan of Wolf
Because,
Danger as
see,
well.
the thing is, this whole storyline thing I'm doing is for the fans, and I'm bringing entertainment for the fans of GW. This is, like I said,
Yep,
this is my
yep,
passion, and I want what's best for the company.
for sure. And you're correct about that because when you say the fans, I know exactly the fans you're talking about because we see them in the live streams. The live streams where the real fans come out. We have kids there watching
Hmm.
that. If you know, YouTube is like a major successful thing for the kids. So any kid from like the age of 5 to maybe a teenager pretty much loves YouTube. They like watching gamers, and what's better than watching GW show and watching Wolf Danger kick ass, right?
Right.
So I know who you say that you do it for. So when you say I do it for the fans, I know exactly the fans you're talking about because that's who I do it for too.
Hmm.
I'm just a heel, but
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah, I can play a
but
face role and a heel role. Just depends on the
so this
right
Wolf
time and
Danger that
stuff.
right, right. No, I get it. So exactly. So this Wolf Danger that we see now is he a heel? Is he a face? What is he?
Definitely a heel because if when I said if Wolf can escape by when Wolf escapes by himself and he realized he can do things on his own, he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna be my by myself and do things my way. In
Right,
my way,
right.
I don't need anybody's help.
That's right. So it's that
It's like that lone
fuck
wolf
the whole
type ego.
yeah. I love it. I love it. So you know that since you're talented and you came back and you have possibly the return of the year, like you said,
Hmm.
you know everybody, every faction leader out there is looking and they're scouting. They're like, hey man, the moment Wolf is free. The only thing is you haven't been speaking to nobody because you like you said you're a lone wolf, and I like this lone wolf thing. It works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I say shout out to you for that, man. Like you're learning how to do storylines from when you first started to now.
Hmm.
You take control of your storylines now, and that's big
Thank you.
because that's what A dot actually gives us. You know, A dot gives us the freedom to explore your own gimmick. You know, whatever gimmick you want. If it sounds good and it's good timing for him, he says go ahead with it. He will never say no. You know how it is. And I love the whole transition that you did. You know that you came in as a rookie, young pup, and now you're a fucking grown wolf,
Yeah.
and it shows. The talent's there, the skills is there, the promo's there, everything's there. So you made it, you know, basically. But talking about that, right?
Hmm.
So what if, since you're saying that you're a lone wolf, what if the DWO comes at you now and talks about, all right, Wolf, we're gonna have to put you in your place for talking the way you're talking. What you got to say about that?
Um, yeah, I don't really have anything to say about that, to be honest.
No problem. You don't have to answer it. You could say that, like you said, you ain't got nothing to say about it. That's it. Let's move on.
Yeah. Because,
All right.
DW, I don't necessarily got anything against them, but
Yeah, I mean, you know, my drama with you guys. I actually, I was part of the foundation of it. You know, I took over as leadership. That, as you know, we did the storyline, the scumbag betrayal, as we called it, the baptizing blood,
mhm,
and it was fun, man, working with you. I still feel like I have more matches with you later on in
clock
the
should
future.
reset soon.
Yes, sir. I agree. Think it's overdue. And so yeah, all right, we'll move on from the DWO thing. So talking about DWO, because Caleb Hopkins, man, shout out to Caleb Hopkins again, because I always shout him out on the show. He's like a legendary guy out there.
Oh,
He's Hall
yeah,
of He's Hall of Fame.
definitely. He's on his A game as of right now.
Toots, yeah, just that man has like he has two belts, had three at one point, and it's like Jesus Christ, this guy can't stop winning, right? So you see Wolf Danger coming like that's you think you're now you out of your shell, like they say, you broke your shell, and you're out now to explore the real Wolf Danger, and you're trying to be better than what people put you as. You get what I'm saying? Like you're not just a member of a faction who has one of the greats in it. You're gonna be one of the greats without a faction.
Yeah.
That's what you're basically going for,
Speaking of
right?
titles, I never lost my FTW title.
That is correct. Let's talk about that. What do you got to say about that when you see all these FTW fights going on? Because right now the reigning champ is Victor Magic, the Destroyer. Shout out to Victor Magic. Had him on the show the other days. Um, he's the current FTW champion. He's going at it with Khan. When you left, remember a lot of a lot of these guys they came up and they stepped to the plate, man. They became champions while you were gone. And like you said, you never lost the belt. It was due to injuries. And you see these guys giving their blood, sweat, and tears out there for your belt, the belt that you technically never officially lost. What do you got to say about that? Actually, that makes you a what? Two-time, three-time
2 time.
FTW champion?
Yeah, 2 time.
Two-time FTW champion. So how do you feel about these guys going out there and trying to fight for something that you technically still own? What do you think about that?
Those guys might try their best to become the best FTW champion, but there was no other superstar who held that title with pride other than Wolf Danger. Because when I held that title, I put so much pride into it that I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the best I could ever be. Like even though the FTW title might not be the world title, I proved to myself that if I can do it, then anybody else can do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you have these young individuals in the locker room. I've seen that they look up to you too.
Hmm.
Like they look up to Wolf Danger. They're like, oh, let's go Wolf and this and that. Like they look for like I don't know a way to be around you, for you can like spread your knowledge and your love for the shit the way they like. I'm gonna just say exactly who I'm talking about.
Hmm.
I'm talking about 787. Shout out to 787, young kid. He's hungry. He's talented. You see yourself in a match with 787 anytime soon?
You know, the kid is special. He has a lot of talent, and I think one of these days there's got to be a match between 787 versus Wolf Danger.
Nice, nice. I like that. Well, so moving on from that, give me a top. You can give me 3 or 5 guys that you say are like, hey man, yeah, like I don't even want to fight these guys. I just like seeing them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, who are your five top guys in GW
I'll give
that
you
you feel
three.
like? Give me three. Three's good.
Hmm. That's a I like that question because there are a lot of top guys in the
It's a hard
company.
question. Yes, yes. I ask all my guests the same question. I need to know because this is what season one's about, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking efeds and how it makes you feel, and who's your top guys. Give me 5. If you don't got 5, I'll take 3, but no less than
No,
3.
coming in number three. Ooh, I'm gonna have to
Yes, sir.
go with Hot.
And remember, you gotta. This is coming from you. It's not being biased. This is being like legitimately saying. Besides me, 5 guys that I like to see out there wrestle, that I will actually enjoy watching their fights. 5 guys.
Number three. I'm gonna have to go with Hopkins because the way he's wrestling right now, he's on a no whole another level. He's got
No,
two
it's true.
titles. He had three titles at first. This guy is on goat mode right now.
Goat, and he slayed the goat. He's the goat slayer.
Right.
So technically he should be one notch higher than the goat. Shout out to Dirty Sanchez too, man, because you can't do. Nobody has done what he's done in a little bit of time and held the titles that long. Well, Caleb Hopkins, he's on his way
Oh
to
yeah.
be one of the greats. He's one of my top 5s too, so that's a good answer. That was a good one. Good pick.
And then coming in at number two, I'm gonna have to go with uh, what's his name? Trying to think. Oh, I'm gonna have to go with SG Kill because he he's a pretty interesting wrestler, got a lot of talent, and he's one of the guys that is me personally. I think SG Kill is criminally underrated because he might
I agree.
not be get the spotlight that others do, but he definitely gives his best at what he does. And I like his attitude of what he brings to this company.
I agree with that 100%. I'm not even gonna question you for that because SGK when he first came out, he reminded me a lot about you too when you first came out. It was like this kid was unstoppable when he first came out, right? And then all of a sudden he wins titles. He's the first ever to win this title. He's doing some amazing, crazy shit out there that you're like, oh my god, did I just see that happen? And you know, he plays along with his storylines too. Shout out to him for that, man. Shout out to SGK for playing his story correctly. He always does his job. Does great in promos. Does great in the ring. So that's definitely a good second pick for you. I
And
love it.
coming in at number one, I'm gonna have to go with my boy Storm because
Yikes!
that guy is very creative at what he does.
Yes, he's a masterpiece.
Oh yeah,
That's what I say all
definitely.
the time. He's a masterpiece. If there's anybody who's perfect inside this creation, world that we do, he's definitely like number one up there.
Hmm.
Shout out to the Storm.
Because he
Yep,
likes
go ahead.
to show his creativity on his character. Like he's just he's very creative at what he does, and
I agree.
it's a blessing to see what people like him can do. And
That's correct. Like I say it on my show all the time, man. Everybody that I've interviewed has mentioned Storm as their top five, top three, top whatever. He's actually in my top five as well. And it's like with his creativity, he's not only creating looks because his
he's
attire is
also
amazing.
promoting the company with his own creations,
Of course, of course,
helping out the
yes. He always.
community.
Yep. That's the thing I'm saying. Like he's like a masterpiece, like a creative masterpiece. His guy could wrestle the shit out of anybody. He's like a fucking five-time champ in every belt he held so far. You know, it's like he holds the tag team titles right now. He is the reigning television champion right now. Like this guy can't be stopped. This is why, like I told like the champions, like if you're a champion, if you're the world heavyweight champion, shout out to Zay the Assassin for being the world heavyweight champion right now. If you're the world heavyweight champion, I'll stay away from this man, Storm. You stay away from Storm and do not let this man get a hold of that title because he's not losing it.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. But all right, that's your top three. You don't got two more, or
mm.
you
I only
just
did three.
three's good. It's fair enough. Fair enough. So now you got at least three. I would. I don't even like this guy. Like you're trash. You're a bum. You don't got any three of those? Because I had five of those too.
No, not really, because a lot of DW wrestlers, they might not be the best they are right now. I like to give people chances to prove themselves when I watch them wrestle, because thing is, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. It's like getting to know someone at first. Like it's getting to watch them wrestle and see how they do, and once you get to see them wrestle and all, it it's just
Yeah,
entertaining.
it's yeah, you're 100% right. I agree with that 100%. That's what I like. Sometimes you could be on a losing streak. You can have like terrible records and stuff. You're probably not even a champion, never been, and that doesn't mean that you're garbage. If you can come out there and do some good promos, and you can talk shit in the group chats, and you can make a fight sell, and people want to watch your fight, then you already win. You already won. You know, there's no other way to win. You won. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So who's your you got at least top five favorite wrestlers of all time that inspired Wolf Danger to become this virtual reality superstar?
I do got a favorite of mine, and that's my character, Wolf Danger. Just kidding, just kidding,
Okay.
just kidding. But I think my top five is gonna be, man. That's a hard question because everybody in the roster is very alike, and I'm not one to play favoritism, and I think to be honest, I don't really have a top five or anything. It's just I like to see everyone do their thing and just be themselves.
No, I understand. That's respectable. That's respectable. That's the thing. Like when I say like top five favorite wrestlers of all time, like off the back, I can give you my favoriteest one. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that's Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course. But remember, I remember I always came from the earliest. I came from the golden era. That's what they called it. That's the Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, the Macho Man's. You know what I mean? And
I still can't believe Razor
like
Ramon wasn't a WWF champion.
that's amazing, right? Like you see how they do people sometimes.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's terrible. But then again, you wouldn't want to see a Razor Ramon versus Bret Hart because at the time the Razor Ramon was actually offered a chance to become a world champion. It was Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. You can't beat those guys. He beat Shawn Michaels in the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. So
Yeah.
shout out to Razor Ramon, man. Rest in peace. One of my favorites too. So give me another top five favorite wrestlers of all time.
Like in
Let's
GW or
start
real life?
real life. No,
Oh,
real
real
life. We're
life,
talking
real
about real
life.
life. Yeah.
I think,
Besides you can only give me three GW guys. So in real life, you can give me five.
yeah, I can give you five real life. So number five, I'll start from number one to number five. Number one, I'm gonna
That's
have
cool.
to go with Tribal Chief Roman Reigns because his Tribal
That's
Chief
oh,
character is top notch. It's one of
that's
the
badass.
best gimmicks in the whole WWE right now.
I love it. You're absolutely right. I love it.
And number two, I'm gonna have to go with Drew McIntyre because he, back when he got released in 2020, 2014 to be correct, he went around the indie scene proving himself, and I think it was back in 2017 he was offered a return back to WWE. Well, he returned. Well, he started back in NXT, but then made his way back to the main roster. It's just his
Right.
comeback story is what makes him my favorite wrestler. Where he started out from the
Well,
bottom and is at the top.
and I'll ask you that too. How do you feel about that whole NXT movement? And you have to start from a certain, like a minor league, independent company. Well, it's not really independent because NXT is under the WWE umbrella. So, but you know what I mean. Like you're not. I want to be on WWE. Why I have to go to NXT? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that you just gotta appreciate the little things because sometimes those little things might be a blessing because you get to know everybody at first at the low, and then once you get to build yourself up and all that, and you start moving up to the big leagues, you know,
Yeah,
it's trusting the
that's
process. And if you're willing to
that's
put
what
in the work,
I hear you. That's what GW is doing with the with right now. GW is actually doing that. With the FEW brand.
uh huh.
It's like an NXT version. And how do you feel about that actually? Now that we
It's
got the
pretty,
top
it's
names in
pretty,
there.
it's pretty cool to see that because you got these younger guys with the cause, and just to see how their character is doing, like because it's
Yeah,
interesting to watch it, knowing that one day they could be GW champion, like Wolf Danger, like Hopkins, like DVD being the million
exactly.
dollar champion.
That's correct. You're absolutely right.
They've
And
got
tell you the
dreams
truth,
they want to pursue.
that's correct. And some of them want to be in the GW main roster already. They're itching and scratching to get there, and they got a lot of potential because we went at it with them in the last pay per view, November to Remember. I don't know if you was around for that, but
I think so.
you, you were watching, but you wasn't around yet. You have to go
Cheeseburger.
back. Yeah, you should have seen it. Man, cheeseburger. Shout out to you for that, man.
Yeah,
Presentation behind the scenes, because nobody knew who the fuck that was.
I was
So
cheeseburger, cheese puff, and Pringles at the time.
Pringles. Yeah, I remember the Pringles too. That was awesome. Yeah, right. So FEW and GW is doing the same thing that WWE did. We have the talent come from FEW and work their way up. Sometimes when you have an injury, they usually bring you down to FEW so you can start there and bring those guys some momentum and give them like star power. That's the goal. But Wolf Danger's too big for that. So
I actually had another call named Patrick Danger who wrestled a little sometime in FEW, but then he ended up having a spinal injury because he was spine busted onto the sledgehammer, and he's been out out for a
Hey,
couple months.
terrible. Shout out to Patrick
I'm
Danger.
sh- as Wolf Danger. I'm sure I can get him. See if I can get him back in the FEW ring one of these days.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. We didn't think we saw Wolf Danger into a GW ring, so look at that. Never say never over here, GW brother.
Oh yeah.
And and the thing is with that, it makes it sound like you guys are like what, injury prone or something. You guys are always hurt,
And
or you just have bad luck. That's all it is, right?
I just think it. Me, I just think things happen for a reason. It's just Mother Nature and all that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So you left off at two guys, your top five of all time, like
Yeah. Now
favorite
my
for life.
now my third. Ooh, definitely Cody Rhodes because
Cody Rhodes,
his energy
my
and
man.
story is it's it
He's
to
the
me.
son of the legendary Dusty Rhodes, brother.
Yeah.
Like this man is he's gotta like remember when you follow somebody's you're in their shadow. You gotta like either shine out of that shadow or you gotta carry that name proudly
Oh yeah.
because his that name is a legendary legacy and that's gonna
And
be
how can you
imprinted
not
all.
even like? How can you even hate Cody Rhodes? He is one of the most well liked wrestlers in my opinion.
I think he's a great star. I think he's a great talent. And I think that WWE when they had him at young, the other gimmicks that they had before this American Nightmare gimmick, they didn't use him right.
Stardust.
They kind of Stardust was kind of like
I thought
I didn't really.
Stardust was all right.
It was all right, but instead his brother played that whole um porno star kind of thing, like
Gold
that
Dust.
whole weird cross dresser. Yeah, so it's hard to break out of that. It's like,
It's
so what?
like
You're
it's
gonna be
almost
another one of us?
copying and the trying be.
Yes, yes, exactly. It's like what Goldust got too old, so we have to bring in Stardust now because he's a younger version. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? It didn't work. I didn't think. Well, it worked, but it didn't work.
That that's
I didn't like it.
that's like I could say the same thing. That's like um that's like for an example, um you could take Randy Orton. You could build a young wrestler into portraying as Randy Orton in the company, but there will never be another star like Randy Orton.
Absolutely.
That's just my view on the Stardust character. Trying to be like
I think Randy Orton is
Goldust,
one of my top fives too.
definitely. And
Yeah.
coming in for my favorite, number four is definitely got to be Randy Orton, no question.
Well, of course, it's not even. You can't even argue that. If Randy Orton is not in your top 10 at least, then you're losing your mind. You're out of your mind.
Exactly.
Why? And now tell me why Randy Orton? Because you told me why from the other guys. So why Randy Orton?
I just like his character and his attitude because he can be a great face. He can be a great heel.
He's badass. He's badass.
It's. I just like his character and his attitude and all that stuff.
I agree.
And
He's
then
one of my top fives too.
great how he has great talent in the ring. Now, me personally, I like his old theme song "Burn in My Life." That was
Yeah,
a good theme
he
song.
had a good couple theme songs also coming out. Shout out to Randy Orton, man.
Yeah.
One of my top fives, like I said.
Hopefully, he gets better soon, though.
Yeah, they say that his injury might definitely be like career ending, but who knows?
Yeah.
You know, it depends how bad you want it.
Hmm.
And God will give you that. So, all right, so that's four. Let me have the number five for your number one favorite of all time.
Number five. Well, number one was my greatest of all time, but number five, I'm gonna have to go with Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson.
Yikes. That's a good pick, actually. It's a sleeper pick.
Definitely a sleeper pick because many people underestimate Daniel Bryan as
Daniel Bryan was badass. I don't know about this new Danielson Bryan, whatever he goes by now, but Daniel Bryan was in WWE. He was badass. He created that whole yes movement thing, like the whole like. There's nothing bigger than that. Remember when Stone Cold had what, and everybody was going crazy like
yeah. That's like
what, you
so
know?
many people liked Daniel Bryan, and then when he joined AEW, and every time first entrance, they would still chant yes, the yes chants, and do his like
Yeah, but they can't really use that because copyright issues and stuff.
yeah,
Well, not copyrights, but it's technically it's like if when they WCW. I don't know if you actually watched that era of wrestling when they had the Monday Night Wars.
uh,
You were around for that. Well, the Monday Night Wars, right? If you joined the enemy team, which was WWF and WCW going at it
uh,
before ECW stepped in the picture, if you joined any other like company, so for example, if you were in WWE and you went to WCW, then you got to change your name. You can't be Bret the Hitman Hart. You just Bret Hart. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
You're not the immortal Hulk Hogan. You're just Hulk Hogan.
yeah.
Or you could be Hollywood Hogan. But it's like stuff like that. So that's
And the
pretty
whole
much
Brian Danielson thing in AEW, I kind of like it, but also it's too watered down because
I agree. I was just gonna say that actually.
back when he was in the Indies before he joined WWE is when he was at his peak as Brian Danielson. I don't see him being the same Brian Danielson that he was before WWE.
Right, right. So since Roman is the greatest of all time, no disrespect to Daniel Bryan, but he was your last pick. So, but um, Roman was your first one you mentioned, so obviously he's the greatest to you that you ever seen.
Mhm.
Why Roman Reigns? Why?
Because he's the GOAT and he's the tribal chief of all time. I like his character and what he brings to the WWE.
You acknowledge your tribal chief.
I acknowledge tribal chief 100%.
I like that. I acknowledge him too. At first, I didn't like him. Like at first I was like, this whole Shield thing, and after they try to make him like, you know what it was when Vince McMahon was getting old, which he got old.
Hmm.
He started watering down the company. You know what I mean? Like he watered down your promos.
Yeah,
He made you look like predictable.
yeah,
You get what I'm saying? And he tried to make somebody just because you're related to somebody great like The Rock
hmm,
doesn't make you The Rock. You
yeah,
get what I mean?
yeah.
So, but he grew out of that. Roman Reigns grew out of that, and he's one of the biggest. And he broke records. He's made history. So you got to acknowledge this guy, man. This guy's a fucking monster. He's a beast.
I think
So I
he's a
respect.
great heel because he's been a face like for
This
half
is
his WWE career, and I think when he was a face, he was booed all the time, and now that he's a
yeah.
heel, he's getting cheered and all that. I think it was a right
That
transition for him because he's doing good before he was before he was the big after he was the
I
big
agree.
dog, and it was a good transition for his career because I don't think me personally, I don't think he was doing very good as the big dog because nobody really took him seriously. But now he's the tribal chief. People will take him serious enough to the part where he's getting cheered as a heel
Head of the table. Exactly.
because they the twos and we the ones, baby.
That's correct. They're the ones. Yeah, he grew on me. I didn't like the whole Shield thing, like you said. I didn't like the whole big dog movement.
I liked the
Since he
Shield
did,
actually, and
I didn't like it. I
I'm actually very
didn't, it,
surprised that WWE like their social media page, they've been posting the shields, tributations, and all that. They're acknowledging Dean Ambrose, aka John Moxley. That's what I'm surprised about. And I'm actually glad they're acknowledging him. Because
Eh,
before, they would crop him out from like any videos and stuff, but now they're acknowledging him and all that.
you see, that's another copyright thing. So you see how he had to change his name when he went to AEW.
Uh huh.
It's that's the whole WWE power shit. You know, the power trip.
Uh huh.
Like WWE will buy every company just to keep the competition from them losing. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like when they saw that NXT couldn't keep up with AEW, they automatically knew we have to start changing stuff in WWE Monday Night Raw and the SmackDown because these guys are coming. And if they come, they're gonna destroy our thing, our company.
Yeah. And that's like since AEW's been on some kind of a roll, they they're using Dean Ambrose to boost their.
He's their face. But I thought, to tell you the truth, I thought their face was the better off being Chris Jericho, besides CM Punk and Johnny Moxley and whoever else they got over there.
Now,
Because Cody left, so
yeah, MJF, he's doing an amazing job. I think he is one of the best on the
shout out
mic.
to MJF. You're right. I agree with that. Now you see, I forgot about MJF completely.
I think my favorite part has to be where CM Punk called MJF a less famous Miz. His face just turned a whole different level.
I agree.
That cracks me up.
So if you still had to choose now to watch WWE or AEW, if you could only watch one, which one you choose?
I think it would have to be WWE because that's what I've been watching for a long time. And
Since you first started watching, it was WWE, correct?
yeah, in transition, I like AEW, but being a long-time WWE fan, it's hard to become a long-time AEW fan.
Can't be. Yeah, it's like walking out on your. It's like walking out on your parents
Yeah,
when you know you can't. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do
uh
that?
huh.
I get it.
But yeah,
Yeah. Well, talking back to GW, right?
hmm
If if you had to change something within the show that's going on there, the show that A Dot gives us, what would you change and why? How would you
um,
change that?
hmm, that's
If you have to change something, that's if. Not that you have to, but if you did, what would it be and why?
that's a tough question. I think it would have to be. Hmm, I honestly don't know because everything about GW I like, and there's nothing really I'd want. I don't want. There's nothing really that I want gone from it because GW is a special fed. Adot's a great owner. I like his attitude when he's at commentary, but dude,
Yeah,
Adot's
I
got to be
agree.
one of the most lit and hyped commentators on any EFED I've been on.
From what you've seen so far and from which efeds that you're available in, this is like one of the most energetic commentating you've seen
Yeah,
in all of them,
because
correct?
that right there shows that Adot's passionate for AW. I mean GW.
Yeah, I get it. I got you.
He's just passionate for GW, and
Well, I mean, it's his brand, so you have to be passionate
yeah.
about it. And you know how this thing came to be.
Hmm.
This technically came to be because of his daughter. His daughter, she's a huge wrestling fan, and she asked him if he could, make this happen for her, and maybe have like a show once a week, twice a week, or something like that. And we all participated in it, and she loves this man.
And I and
Shout out to him.
And I
You know,
exactly remember my first GW match. And
yeah,
I remember the whole thing.
me too. I remember watching a lot of you guys, and I remember my first match like it was yesterday, man. I remember my first match was an elimination chamber,
My first,
and I came in a second. Like I almost won it. And then my second elimination chamber, I won it, and ever since then, DWO became bigger. You joined.
speaking of
I fought.
Elimination Chamber, that's where I won my first GW championship, and that was the FTW championship.
You're still proud of that. You were the youngest FTW champion in GW history too.
Yeah.
You want to talk more about that?
Um, you know, it's
No,
just a passion for efed and call.
I got you. I mean, that's what we do here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about showing love to the fans, man. Like you really do this for the people watching,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's special. Like some of the guys, they do their cause just for their own purposes. Like they want to shine, they care about themselves, they want to do this and that.
That
Shout out to the
yeah, like
fans.
you said, that there are many adults and children in the efeds who are watching GW, and there are some adults who've been watching WWE since they were a child and never really got the
Yes,
chance to pursue a
they
career
wanted
as
to
a
live this.
pro wrestler, and if they're taking their imagination and creativity into a video game and pushing the limits on pursuing their dream.
That's
And
correct.
you got the
We wanted to do this so bad, like when we were kids.
yeah.
We wanted to be wrestlers, but unfortunately, life doesn't work out that way. Some people have it, some people don't.
Hmm.
You can't be nothing to be ashamed of. It's like some people are cut out to be special in certain things that are not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You're special in certain that you have passion for. If you have a passion for anything in life, don't ever let nobody tell you you can't do nothing. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm not saying that we wasn't supposed to be wrestlers and shit. It's just like it didn't work out for us because we didn't choose that route.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We chose the other route.
Hmm.
If we really dedicated our lives to do something that we actually like to do,
Uh huh.
then we can make that happen, man. That's it. That's a possibility. And then I speak that in general. That goes to anything you want to do in life,
Yeah.
not just wrestling, doing this and that. It's about doing what you really love to do. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, you're right. A lot of us, we are adults, and you're an adult as well. So you know what it's like. So it's like, damn, man, life life is uh life is a mysterious thing,
And I'll tell you,
and
life goes by fast. Then you
that's
know it.
correct, man. You lose people that you love sometimes that you can't even believe you lost them. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
sometimes we unfortunate we can't say goodbye to them the right way, and you don't really want to say goodbye. That's the thing. So
And
it's not to get emotional with that, but you know what I mean.
because life is short, and cherish the people you love and your friends because one day it could be your last day. That's something you gotta
That's
take pride in.
You're speaking facts now, brother. That's correct. Talking about life's too short, stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
What do you see next for Wolf Danger in his GW career? Like, what's next for Wolf Danger?
What I think is next for Wolf Danger is focusing on the second round of I think it's called the King of the Champions tournament, and just beating Savage and moving on to the next round. And if I don't win, I do got my eyes set on the FTW championship. That's something I never lost, and you know,
Nice. You heard it here first, folks. All my listeners, Wolf Danger's coming for that FTW title. Whoever has it, know Wolf Danger's coming.
I'm coming, and you better be ready.
Better be ready. Champion of the year. That sounds nice for Wolf Danger too. do you think about that?
Yes, sir.
You love that idea, right? Wolf Danger make his return. All of a sudden, the champion of the year, folks,
Hmm.
and he has the return of the year also. You can't take that title away from him.
Nah. And especially
Definitely
when I
can't.
won it for the second time, I turned that title blue.
Yeah, man. The only thing that could blow that off the roof, it's got to be like one of like the first people that ever came into GW, make a like all of a sudden return and win like 5 matches in a row. That's the only way you could top Wolf Danger's return.
Hmm.
Besides that, it's untouched
Yeah.
right now. Yeah, 100%, 100%. What you may call it. So that's next for Wolf Danger, right?
Yeah.
Who who in the locker room you could say right now that it's like, dude, get out of here with that. If they called you out right now, who you'd be like, no, no way, you're a bum, you're terrible, I don't like you. Not like meant like not realistically you don't like them, but like
Like
as
in
your character,
kayfabe.
Wolf Danger. Yeah, kayfabe.
In kayfabe, that's a hard question. I'm gonna
It could
have.
be anybody, man. It could be anybody. Like there's people. I have people that are on the list that
I think I'm gonna
I
have
think.
to go with DVD because we got a bone to pick where you turned on DWO and
Yeah.
we got a bone to pick and I never got the chance to fight you again.
Okay. I
But
hear you.
but
That
overall,
makes
your
sense.
character is good. I like the intensity your character brings for the EFA for GW. Like you're passionate about your character.
I hear you. So so basically, that you set the cards on the table. Because I have a few people like that that I can easily say, you know what, no, I'm not ready to fight you, not yet. That is. But moving on from that, right?
Hmm.
Before we end the show, because I know it's getting late and stuff, and
Yeah.
we got lives besides this whole efed thing. Which shout out to the show for season 1. Like I said, it's all about efeds and mainly GW. I'm interviewing the stars, but I will also interview you if you are a star of GW and have other efeds or your own efeds that you want to give a shout out to. So that's big. But my thing was, if you got any questions for me, and you can ask me about my character, or you can ask me about personal, Mr. 357 himself, or DBD himself. You got any?
Um, if you can face any current wrestler, either it could be from New Japan, AEW, WWE, Impact, who would it be as
Ooh,
DVD
that's a big
fighting them?
DBD. I would like to see DBD go against the Tribal Chief.
Interesting, interesting. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely want to battle the Tribal Chief in a one-on-one, like Hell in a Cell kind of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, 100%,
That would be an interesting match to watch. I will tell you that.
definitely. And I actually get my my gimmick a little bit from Roman, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and stuff like that. That's mainly where I got the gimmick from. So
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
yeah, man. So like I said earlier, man, it's an honor to have you on the show, and I appreciate you for coming, Wolf.
Yeah, thank you,
And
man.
like
Thank
I
you for
said, you're
having me
one of my
on.
favorites. Yeah, man, absolutely. And I hope to maybe speak to you again one day. Maybe we could do this again and have have more to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But for now, you're one of my favorites out there, and I love seeing you out there, bro. That return was
I
amazing. It's crazy.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is another show of Mr. 357 presents this and that. Wolf Danger, thank you for coming, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely, man. We out, folks.